Do you want to read a book that has been declared illegal? There will be no shortage of outstanding books to select from. Attempts to repress or otherwise censor works of literature, even those that have gone on to become classics, have occurred many times throughout history. At one point or another, writings by George Orwell, William Faulkner, Ernest Hemingway, and Toni Morrison have all been prohibited. The list of banned books is extensive, and the reasons for their deletion vary. However, works with sexual content, drug usage, or violent imagery are commonly banned, regardless of their literary merit. So, here is the list of 10 banned literary classics. Welcome to The Amazing Facts. Stay tuned. Top 10 Banned Literary Classic. Subscribe to our channel for more videos. Number 10. Ulysses. Because of its heavy sexual themes, Ulysses was prohibited in the United Kingdom for 8 years. It was taken to court in America, and 500 copies were seized and destroyed in New York. During Joyce's lifetime, the novel was frequently regarded as vulgar. Despite the fact that Ulysses is set in Dublin, it was never prohibited in Ireland at the time. But that was only because it wasn't available anyplace in Ireland. Ulysses follows the main character, Leopold Bloom, as he travels about Dublin on a typical day, June 16, 1904. The title relates to the hero of Homer's Odyssey, and there are several connections between the two works, both implicit and explicit. Number 9. The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. The book is known for its sweet child heroine, colorful descriptions of people and places along the Mississippi River, and a sober and frequently critical look at entrenched views of the day, particularly racism. Huck's raft ride down the Mississippi River with his friend Jim, a runaway slave, may be one of the most enduring images of escape and freedom in all of American literature. Huckleberry Finn was declared junk and appropriate only for the slums a month after its release in Concord, Massachusetts. It is still one of the most commonly prohibited books in the world. Despite the fact that the reasons for its prohibition have varied considerably. Huckleberry Finn was once thought to be vulgar due to its ungrammatical vocabulary and progressive anti-racism attitude. However, since the 1950s, it has been chastised for its bigotry and use of the N-word. Number 8. Brave New World. The world described in the novel is an ironic utopia in which humanity is carefree, healthy, and technologically advanced. War and poverty have been abolished, and everyone is eternally content. The irony is that many of the things that humans perceive to be important to their identity, family, culture, art, literature, science, religion, and philosophy, have been eliminated in the process. It's also a hedonistic society that enjoys promiscuous sex and drug use, particularly summer, a potent substance used to escape pain and terrible memories through hallucinatory dreams. Furthermore, stability has been attained and is maintained by social stratification that has been carefully constructed and strictly enforced. When Australia outlaws a book, they outlaw it completely. In 1932, Australia outlawed Brave New World, and all copies were destroyed. It's also been prohibited in Ireland and India due to drug use and casual sex depictions. Number 7. The Catcher in the Rye. Holden Caulfield, the protagonist of the novel, has become a symbol of adolescent isolation and anxiety. The Catcher in the Rye is a novel written in the first person about Holden Caulfield's experiences in New York City after he was expelled from Quincy Prep, a college preparatory school. The novel is still contentious because of its extensive use of profanity and representation of sexuality and adolescent anguish. According to the American Library Association, it was the 9th most frequently challenged book of the 1990s. Swear words, references to prostitution and premarital sex, underage drinking, and, in one case in a Florida high school, for being all over inappropriate, have all led to The Catcher in the Rye being banned from schools. Number 6. Lord of the Flies. Nobel laureate William Golding's novel Lord of the Flies is an allegorical novel. It uses the symbolism of a group of school children imprisoned on a desert island trying to govern themselves and failing miserably. It was ranked 70th on the American Library Association's list of the 100 most often disputed books of 1990-2000, for its positions on the already contentious themes of human nature and individual welfare versus the general good. This story about a group of schoolboys stranded on a desert island is frequently forbidden due to the protagonist's vulgar language and violence. It was challenged in 1981 at a high school in North Carolina because it was deemed demoralizing insofar as it indicates that man is little more than an animal. Number 5. 1984. Winston Smith is the protagonist of 1984, which narrates the story of his degradation as a result of the totalitarian regime in which he lives. It is one of the most well-known and quoted dystopias in literature, alongside Aldous Huxley's Brave New World and Ray Bradbury's Fahrenheit 451. When it comes to privacy and state security, its terminology and author have become household names. The term Orwellian has evolved to refer to actions or organizations that resemble the totalitarian society depicted in the novel. And the phrase "Big Brother is watching you" has come to refer to any invasive surveillance act. The dystopian future depicted in Orwell's 1949 novel was developed in response to major concerns posed by the then-developing Soviet Union. Despite this, it was challenged in 1981 in a Florida school district for being pro-communist and containing explicit sexual stuff. Number 4. The Grapes of Wrath. The novel The Grapes of Wrath is set during the Great Depression and tells the story of the Jodes, a poor family of sharecroppers who are forced to flee their land due to drought, economic hardship, and changes in the agriculture business. They set out for California with thousands of other Okies in quest of land, jobs, and dignity in an almost hopeless situation. The story is intended to illustrate the importance of cooperative, rather than individualistic, solutions to social problems caused by agricultural technology and the Dust Bowl drought. Cook County, California even banned it for a period because neighbors felt it was obscene and defamatory. Number 3. Beloved. The novel, which follows the narrative of Seth, a formerly enslaved woman, has been criticized for its violent scenes and sexual content. Toni Morrison earned the Pulitzer Prize for this work in 1988, and it is still being questioned and outlawed today. A parent recently objected to the novel being included on a high school English reading list, alleging that the sexual violence depicted in the book was too harsh for kids. As a result, the Virginia Department of Education established a policy requiring sensitive content and reading materials to be reviewed. Number 2. The Great Gatsby. Fitzgerald's jazz age classic, Gatsby, is one of the most often banned books of all time. The story of Playboy J. Gatsby and his love interest, Daisy Buchanan, was challenged by Baptist College in Charleston, South Carolina, in 1987 because of language and sexual overtones in the book. Number 1. The Diary of a Young Girl. Anne Frank had enough to contend with during her lifetime without having her diary outlawed after she died. The Diary of a Young Girl has been removed from various library and school reading lists, but not because it deals with Nazis or the Holocaust. It's because of one line in which Anne explains her anatomy in simple terms. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. Subscribe our channel for latest notifications.